power of the dark side, 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 side.
Hello YouTube, this is your friendly neighborhood freak here. I'm about to do a review of Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and also favorite books. I do enjoy the books as well. This is going to be a spoiler. I'm going to spoil everything. If you haven't seen it, then don't watch this. If you have seen it, then let's discuss it. Feel free to comment with any thoughts you have on the first episode of the season. Alrighty, so we're gonna jump right into it. I want to start off by saying that I am really excited to see what's gonna happen this season. One of my favorite characters, Jon Snow, was murdered at the end of last season, as you should know. If you didn't, well, spoiler. But I'm excited to see if he does make a comeback. I know in the books, Melisandre has the ability to bring people back from the dead. So I want to see if she actually does that, because that would be amazing. I'd freaking love it. I do think he's destined for greatness, or I did, at least in the books and in the series. If not, well, that's a bummer, but I guess we'll get over it. They do kill off a lot of main characters, so it wouldn't be like a first for them. So it is a possibility that Jon Snow is literally just dead. I do like that they incorporated every cliffhanger that they left us with last season in the first episode, so we get to see a glimpse of what's happening right away, so we don't have to wonder on the next episode, like, where's Arya, what's she up to, is she still blind? So yeah, I do like that they did incorporate every single one, but it just made me even more anxious to see the rest of the series, those bastards. I do like the fact that Sansa and Reek did get away. I thought Reek was done for when the soldiers on horseback found them. I knew they wouldn't harm Sansa because of the whole needing an heir aspect. But yeah, I do like that they got away, and now Sansa has her own knight, which is the female knight. I forget her name, and I really don't feel like looking for it. That was awesome as well. I do think. See, this is what I think. I think Melisandre is gonna revive Jon Snow. I think Sansa's gonna head her way to Castle Black. Maybe she'll arrive while there's a battle ensuing, because there is going to be a battle with the crows and the wildlings. The wildlings are going to have Jon Snow's back, and yeah, so I do think that's gonna happen. And then they're going to be reunited, and then we'll see where it goes from there. I do. Arya is, if you read the books, then you know that Arya does get her sight returned. So I'm sure that's going to happen in the series as well. They're going to continue training her while she's blind, but eventually, probably toward the end, I would say, or the middle at least, of the series, that they're going to return her sight to her. The one thing I found missing and lacking in this episode was Bran. Where the heck is Bran? He hasn't been around, and I want to know what he's up to. Is he a tree now? What is he doing? So yeah, not even a mention, no glimpse, no nothing. I want to know what's going on with that kid, because of course he is destined for greatness as well. I really love this show. I do find it funny though that Jon Snow basically gets murdered for trying to let in the Mexicans of the show over the wall. And I think Thorne is like the Trump character, that he hates it so much that he murders Jon Snow. I think that's pretty funny. Because that's going to happen. If Trump gets elected, he's going to build that wall, and you're going to get murdered if you let any Mexicans in. I wonder what's going to happen with Sir Davos. I mean, he has no ruler right now, although they didn't technically show that guy being dead, so he might still be alive. But now Sir Davos has no ruler. He's a knight with no kingdom. So I wonder what he's gonna do. I know he's backing up Jon Snow right now, but what's gonna happen after that? Whatever transpires at the wall. Is he gonna go back home? Is he gonna become the new ruler? Who knows? If you have an opinion on that, let me know in the comments down below. I want to talk about Dorne and the Vipers murdering their king. That was totally, like, I didn't see that coming at all. It seemed kind of weird though. It seemed they just wanted to get rid of those characters because it was really fast. The son got murdered super quick. I saw it coming from a mile away. You never turn your back on anybody who says they're gonna kill you. That is Game of Thrones 101. All right, you don't turn your back on someone who says I'm going to kill you. That's just stupid. So I think he deserved to die. Yeah, he should have died. Yeah, I'm glad he died. As for the Khaleesi, I think. So she's gonna go back to that. I forgot what they call it, but she's gonna go back to the place where all widows of the Call go to die. Basically, they just live out the last days there as kind of like nuns, I would say, in a coven that nobody gets to sleep with, which is a bummer because Khaleesi is freaking hot. So yeah, she's gonna go over there. Of course, I do believe Sir Jorah and that mercenary are gonna find the Khaleesi, if not at least the horde that's carrying her to that place for the widowed Khaleesi's. And I guess a negotiation would have to happen. Either that or the Khaleesi's gonna get her dragons to come, or at least that one Drago to come and murder everyone. I doubt it though, because it doesn't seem like she really has a lot of control over him. He just does what he wants and what he pleases, which is why he's my favorite dragon. He's cool. But yeah, I want to see what happens with Ser Jorah. I know he's infected with that stone disease and it's spreading. It looks bigger than last season on his arm. And I wonder if he's gonna spread it to the Khaleesi. I mean, that would be a bummer, but it can happen because I think it's contagious, as he got it himself. But maybe it's not contagious until you're full blown stone man, like the ones that attacked him that look like weird dirt zombies. But yeah, but that's gonna be interesting to see what happens there. Is he gonna reveal his disease to her, or is he gonna keep it a secret and then wait till he fucks up again? Who knows? Who knows? We only got a short scene with Arya. All she basically does is get beat down while being blind. So that's not cool. You never hit the handicapped kids. You don't do that. All right, only if they ask for it. It seemed like she thought her training was over forever. Like she's messed up so bad that they blinded her and kicked her out. But now I think she's realizing that her training has just begun. You know that old cliche. Oh, and what about that big reveal? I mean, Melisandre being an old hag, taking off that red ruby that was keeping her young. God, way to stop me mid-fap. I mean, I was almost done until I saw what she looked like without it. And I just couldn't anymore. I couldn't do it. I've never been into ancient artifacts. I don't like the museum that much either, but you know, that was crazy. I figured that red ruby was up to something. Even in the books, they do point it out quite a bit, and now we know what it does. It's basically a glamour. It just covers her, makes her look differently. Oh, maybe she's gonna use that. Maybe she's gonna revive Jon Snow, and then so nobody knows that he's back. She's gonna use something like that to glamour him so he looks different. That's a good theory. I just thought of that right now. If you think that theory is good, comment down below. Let me know. I'd like to discuss that. I never wanted harm to come to a child, but I do wish that kid who stabbed Jon Snow from the watch. I do hope he dies like a painful death at some point. Because he's a jerk and he killed Jon Snow. I mean, who the fuck does that? Jon Snow is just trying to bring the Mexicans across, and that racist bastard said no. Alright? Just because there's a few apples, a few bad apples in the bunch, doesn't mean you have to throw out the whole bunch. You know what I'm saying? That's words of wisdom from Freak Show. Yeah. So, do hope he dies a horrible, horrible death. Fuck that kid. And I've never said something like that in my life. That's a lie. I say it all the time. What do you guys feel about Reek? Do you think he's redeemed himself by now? I know he didn't technically murder those kids, but he did have everyone believing, including their mother before she died, that he had murdered them. But you think that his actions? I mean, he got his dick cut off, so that right there, I'm gonna give him a pass. I'm gonna say, you know what? You paid enough, dude. You're good now. You're a good guy. But what do you think? Do you think that he's getting his dick cut off and saving Sansa was enough? Or do you think he needs to still try and redeem himself from his past fuck ups? We'll say. I think the dick cutting, that's enough. You know, he's good. You get to pass in my book. I don't care what you do. You get your dick cut off, man. I think that's gonna change you. You're gonna be a better person after that. But we'll see. I think he's redeemed. Hopefully, I think in the eyes of Sansa as well, that he is redeemed. I think she can see that he did way worse to Reek while she was away. The Queen seems a little bit changed, but I don't think she's fully changed. I think she's more cautious right now. Yeah, Queen Cersei. I think she's more cautious because she seems distraught, but it might be because her daughter had just died. So she had lost another child. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I think she's changed. Well, she's changed. I don't know for the better or for the worse, but she has changed. We'll see. We'll see coming up in the season if it's for the better. I don't think it is. She's too much of a bitch to change for the better. She's fucking hater. I think Bolton's gonna get murdered this season. To be honest, he's done some fucked up shit, and I think it's time for him to pay. I think this is what my scenario is kind of about Bolton. I think Jon Snow's coming back. This is my opinion, or this is my hopes and dreams right now. Is that Jon Snow comes back. But I hope he comes back. Him and Sansa get together. You know, Sansa finally calls him a brother because she has no one else. So now she's like, you know what, you're my bro now. They get together. Sansa, and then the wildlings. Of course, the wildlings come, defeat the Watch. Not everyone dies though, but most of the traitors do. And then they form up an army, and then they attack for the castle. They kill Bolton, and Sansa takes power in Winterfell, and she becomes the ruler there until she finds an heir. Jon Snow is going to go back to the Wall because, of course, those Mexicans, the bad Mexicans are still going to want to come through, the terrorists, and the good Mexicans he's going to want to have on his side. So he's still got to be over there in Castle Black, so he's going to go back. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it turns out this season. Maybe my predictions are right. If you have any predictions, leave a comment down below. I'd like to hear them. I think that's pretty much it. If I didn't touch on something that you really want to talk about, leave a comment for real. Leave a comment. We'll talk about it. I love this show. I love the characters. George R.R. Martin. I don't think he's gonna live long enough to finish the books. He's gonna die soon, I think. No, that's not a threat. I know it sounded like a threat, but it's not a threat. I just think he's old. So old people die. That's what happens. And Tyrion. Basically becoming a governor for the Khaleesi. I think he's going to do great things. I think he really cares about the regular folk, even though he's a rich kid. I think he actually gives a shit about them and wants them to be happy. And not because like it makes him happy, but because he knows that'll stabilize everything and he's secure in his position as whatever governor, whatever you want to call him. So I think he's actually going to do good in the city of Marine, I believe it's called. So yeah, I think he's actually going to do good there. Varys is a really good right-hand man to Tyrion. I do like the dynamic between the two characters. Because even though I think Varys is like the straight man and Tyrion's kind of like the funny guy, but Varys does have some good one-liners. He is pretty funny himself. So I do want to see more of them together. They have a great dynamic. I love those two characters. Tyrion is the best. So yeah, I can't wait to see what happens with that. My prediction is he's gonna, by the time the Queen comes back, Tyrion's gonna have that whole Marine on lockdown. He's gonna have everything set up. Everybody's gonna love him, and they might not even accept the Khaleesi back because he's gonna do so good. You know, maybe they'll give him a dragon because that'd be sweet. He deserves a dragon. I think he can ride it. I don't care if he's short. All right, he can ride that fucking dragon. Tyrion is the man. The only thing I can say about this season is Tyrion better not die. They already killed Jon Snow. If he doesn't come back, fine. I can accept that. But if you kill Tyrion, then I'm going to punch a baby. That's not a threat. That's a promise. I don't know whose baby. I don't have a baby, but I'll find a baby and I'll punch him square in the jaw. You hear me, HBO? You fucking hear me, HBO? Yeah, you better hear me. So I'm going to try to do this every week. I'm going to try to do a review of Game of Thrones the day after, probably. I don't think I'd be able to do it the day on the same day because I watch it pretty late and then I have homework from school and stuff. But if you did enjoy this and you want to see more of this, please like and subscribe. Comment down below. I'd love to hear anybody's thoughts on this. I'd love to discuss Game of Thrones with you. Stalk me on Twitter and Instagram. You can get updates on the videos on Twitter. And if you want to see some of my artwork that I've done, I'm going to try to draw something for Game of Thrones, actually. And I just thought of that. I think I'm going to do something. I'm going to draw maybe some of the characters. The dragon probably would be a great idea, too. I'm going to try to draw that, and I'll share it with you guys when I get that finished. So make sure to follow me on Instagram as well. Alright, this is Freak Show signing off here. I'll see you on the same Freak channel with the same Freak Show. Deuce.
The power of the dark side.